Hi everyone, Sean Kennedy here from Java SE Certification YouTube channel. What I'd like to discuss in this video is scope in Java. And Java uses block scope. And that means everything is crucial regarding the curly braces. So that's how it defines a block of code. A block of code is defined in Java as being the set of curly braces. Like there and there, for example. That's a block of code. And inside there, if I declare a variable int x, it is available from where I have declared it to the end of that scope, which is basically the closing curly bracket. Okay, now one thing to be aware of is that if you declare another scope with inside that, then x is available to you. No problem there. And then I'm still in the scope because that's the start, the variable declaration there. That's from where it's visible. And it is visible until you get to the closing curly bracket of that current scope, the end closing scope. So, for example, that is it there. This is the closing curly bracket of that scope. So if I go outside that and I try and initialize x, now I've got a problem. It can't see it because x is available from there to the closing curly bracket of that scope, which is there. Okay, and the other aspect then would be, well, let's look at a variable declared inside a method. So if I go and I have a method here, public static void m, and I declare a variable y, let's say I give it an initialized value there, can I refer to it inside in main? Can I add one onto it? No, I can't, because it's the same rule. It's the same rule. That variable y is available from where you've declared it to the closing curly bracket of the current scope, which is there. And you're inside in a different scope attempting to refer to it, a different method. A method will have a different scope. Now, when you refer to a variable, like here, so if I say c is assigned 2, okay, now what you're trying to say, okay, initialize a variable c to 2. Java checks the current scope. If it can't find it there, it will go and check the next outer scope. Now bear in mind, it's worth mentioning that variables here are considered part of the current scope. These are your parameters that you're passed in. They're part of the current scope for a method scope. So this variable c is accessible throughout the whole of the method, from the starting curly brace to the closing curly brace. But let's say if I didn't put that variable c there. So Java is looking for it in the current scope. It's not there. It's not one of the arguments in the methods. It'll then check the next outer set of curly brackets, the next outer scope, which is the class scope. This is where your instance variables and your class variables reside. Now, because I'm accessing a variable inside a static method here, okay, I'm going to declare it as a static here. Static int c. And now the error goes away because it looked for it in the current scope, couldn't find it, checks the next outer scope, and then it found it there. Now I will do another video regarding the static versus the non-static when you're accessing them, because that often leads to confusion. But just for the moment, I'm inside a static method and I'm referring to a variable that's declared in the outer scope, then that variable must be static as well. Now that static variable c there is accessible throughout the whole class scope, even if you take the static keyword off the method. In other words, you make the method an instance method. You can still access the static class variable c without any issue. So that's just a quick video explaining scope in Java. If you like the video, please click on the like. If you'd like further content, please subscribe. Any comments, please leave them below. Thanks very much.